Hello, everybody. Here we're carrying on in the book of Jeremiah here at the King James Bible Prophecy Church. It is our privilege to study with you. I'm Tom, your reader. It's my privilege to be reading for you today again, and I hope you're getting a lot out of it. If you're a beginner in the King James, we're going to save you a lot of time here. You don't have to read some pop-up version Bible to try to understand the basics. Whenever you do that, you're in danger of being fed some kind of lie. Here you can tune in and hopefully we're explaining it. And if there's something that is not exactly clear, if you hang in there and don't get bogged down and just keep moving, the Bible explains itself. And you just keep going and it'll all become absolutely perfectly clear here, folks. That's our goal. If you're an old timer, and I see there's a lot of you out there, again, I was very negative about it, about the amount of people. I know they're out there, but I didn't realize that there's more than what I thought of people that still love the old King James. And we appreciate you guys out there. And we're all learning here, and it's a very pleasant growing process. But that being said, here we are in chapter 29, and we have one of these letters from Jeremiah. He sends a letter to the captives in Babylon to be quiet there and not to believe the dreams of their prophets, and that they shall return with grace after 70 years. He foretelleth the destruction of the rest for their disobedience. He sheweth the fearful end of Ahab and Zedekiah, two lying prophets. Now, see, that's not the same. They're using the name here that was given to the king, but it's not the same king. It's a pretend prophet here, a fake prophet. 24, Shemaiah writeth a letter against Jeremiah. How about that? See how you always got the infiltrators. You always got the deceivers. Jeremiah readeth his doom. Okay, here we go. It says, now these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem unto the residue of the elders which were carried away captives, and to the priests, and to the prophets, and to all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon. Verse 2, it says, after that Jeconiah the king and queen and the eunuchs, the princes of Judah and Jerusalem, and the carpenters and the smiths were departed from Jerusalem. 3. By the hand of Elasah, the son of Zaphan, and Gemariah, the son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah king of Judah sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens, and eat the fruit of them. Take ye wives, and beget sons and daughters, and take wives to your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there, and not diminished. All right. is this what happened? Well, a good section of it did happen. Now, where do we get that? We get that right out of the Bible. We have descriptions of people that are there in, let's say, Ecbatane and around there where, like say, Judith and Tobit, those all verify that this went on. And as long as you submitted for this period of captivity, you were taken care of by the Lord. Now, of course, not if you went to idolatry, but even in the history of Susanna, you have some of this, okay? So, a lot of this we know was fulfilled in the way it's written here. But again, there's always a remnant of people that are against God within Israel. 7, it says, and seek the peace of the city whither I have caused you to be carried away captives, and pray unto the Lord for it. For in the peace thereof shall ye have peace. All right, on we go in a new paragraph. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, let not your prophets and your diviners that see in the midst of you. All right, let's start. It's a new paragraph mark in verse 8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, let not your prophets, little p, and your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you, neither hearken to your dreams which ye cause to be dreamed. Notice here the dream. And like I said, people twiddle their thumbs in the occult, trying to interpret every dream like it all means something, and it all doesn't. Many times dreams are just gobbledygook. Now, the Lord can send a dream, and if you get one of those, according to Scripture, we have lots of descriptions of real dreams, okay, like the one that hit Nebuchadnezzar here. That's completely different, and it's not like every dream is something sent from God, because it certainly isn't. And also, there's the dream state. There's the way of initiating the dream state, which is you're in a dream state with your eyes wide open. It's a trance state, okay, that the occultist uses to try to contact spirits from the other dimension. So there's all that here in the dream. Psychology picked up on this, and that's a very occultic art that they now call them doctors, but actually they're witch doctors. There is no basic fundamental science to psychology. It is, other than studying behavior, it's a bunch of garbage. Now, it's really cultic. It's cultic and it's occultic in nature. And it all has to do with this dreaming. I mean, I can have a dream that's totally against everything I believe. You can watch a film from Hollywood, and all of a sudden you get little images of that in a dream. You just never know, okay? Unless it's legitimately from the Lord. Now, if that's the case, it's going to stand out inside you, and we're saying that. You'll be obsessed with it, and we have plenty of examples of that here. Okay, but here they're using the dream and the dream state to prophesy false prophecies, deceiving people. In 9 it says, for they prophesy falsely unto you in my name. I have not sent them, saith the Lord, period. In a new paragraph it says, for thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word towards you in causing you to return to this place. Okay, and we have plenty of verification of all that. I mean, whole books on it. The book of Nehemiah, the histories, Zerubbabel. We got them in the prophecy books. We got other letters here from Jeremiah. We got so much of it. The book of Esdras, the book of Esdras. I mean, this absolutely came true down to the day. Okay? So he's going to cause them to return. We got lists of everybody that returned. We have the divorces that went on. We have the cornerstone being laid. All that's in the Bible. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace, and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Okay, and they are going to get that. I'm talking about the ones that know the Lord. Not the ones hanging on to the Babylonian religion, though. Okay? Because that fight's always been there. The fact is that there's an expected end, and we're expecting that end. Okay? And that's for everybody. We have that in prophecy, folks. In 12 it says, then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. Okay, so you see how this is leaning right towards not the 70 years, but the end times with Jesus Christ here. 13, and ye shall seek me and find me, when ye shall search for me with all your heart. And that's going to come true. It's going to come true for individuals like Daniel, etc. All right, or even Susanna there, or Tobit. All that's in the history. Esdras is in the history. Zerubbabel in the history. It'll be an outpouring in our time that is beyond. It just is. It's going to be so fantastic. The great gathering is coming for all of us, folks. It just is. We just got to hang in there and get to that day of the Lord. All right? And that's the beauty of studying this doctrine. It reinforces the desires of God, and it reinforces the desires that are in our heart and how they're lawful, capital L. So we'll seek him, and we're going to find him. Knock and it'll be given. All right? All your heart. In 14, and I will be found of you, saith the Lord, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations, and from all the places whither I have driven you, saith the Lord. And I will bring you again, notice the again, into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive. Notice the again, folks. In 15 is a new paragraph. It says, because ye have said, the Lord hath raised us up prophets in Babylon. Ouch. Know that thus saith the Lord of the king that sitteth upon the throne of David, and of all the people that dwelleth in this city, and of your brethren that are not gone forth with you into captivity. Okay? See how this is kind of jumping around here? All right. 17, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. Okay, now we got to go back to the other prophecy that we just read about the good figs and the bad figs, the type there, okay? And here he uses that again. That would be back in chapter 24, 8 and 10, and chapter 4, 24, 8. Okay, the similitude of the figs, the good fruit and bad fruit. 18, and I will persecute them with the sword, with the famine, and with the pestilence, and will deliver them to be removed to all the kingdoms of the earth, to be a curse and an astonishment and an hissing and a reproach among all the nations, whether I have driven them. Okay, like I said, there's the carrying away of Israel. There is a remnant of Judah and Benjamin left there under the king. The king rebels. Here comes Nebuchadnezzar. He lays the law down. And like I said, go to 2 Kings 24. Jehoiakim, the king of Judah, is carried away to Babylon. And the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, made Mattaniah, his father's brother, king, and changed his name to Zedekiah. Okay, so there's a good chance right there to do what's right. And of course, Israel's long gone and carried away. So anyway, that's something we have to keep in mind as we read these things. Okay. In 19 it says, because they have not hearkened to my words, saith the Lord, which I sent unto them by my servants, the prophets, capital P, rising up early and sending them. But ye would not hear, saith the Lord. Period. And in 20, we have a new paragraph. It says, hear ye therefore the word of the Lord, all ye of the captivity, whom I have sent from Jerusalem to Babylon. 21, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, of Ahab, the son of Kolaiah, and of Zedekiah, the son of Maaseiah, which prophesy a lie unto you in my name. Behold, I will deliver them into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and he shall slay them before your eyes. So like I said, Nebuchadnezzar is an occultic king. He is an Antichrist figure. He's being used by the Lord. He never does get a relationship with the Lord, and neither does his son. However, God uses him however he chooses. All right? And this is it. It's a good example of it here in 21, the 3 sevens. 22, it says, and of them shall be taken up a curse by all the captivity of Judah, which are in Babylon, saying, the Lord make thee like Zedekiah and like Ahab, whom the king of Babylon roasted in the fire. Ouch! See what I mean about this king? He'd rip your lungs out. And this type of Antichrist figure will do that. They just will. All right? And so here we have a proverb, a saying that, you know, when you don't like somebody, the Lord make you like Zedekiah. And like I said, don't mix that up with the king. This is a false prophet here. And this Ahab, these names repeat. And so there they are, and they get theirs. And 23, yeah, you can't just start say you're a prophet in God's name. And buddy, there's a plethora of them today. Look what happens to them. I mean, people, you just can't run out there and tell people you're prophesying. Like that witch, Paula White, the one that said she was Trump's what? Trump had her as a spiritual handler, as she lived in Trump's tower, and she's there. Trump's gonna get to be president again, and gave all the pagans all this room to mock real Christians, even though she's a Kabbalist witch. And she was there all striking, and Trump's gonna be president, he's gonna strike back, and la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di. And calling that the Holy Ghost. Before it's over with, she's gonna be doing a strip tease on stage there and calling it Christian. Hey, I'm not joking. This lady said she's going to get on her broom and fly away. And that you owe her your first month's salary of the year or God's going to curse you. Does that sound Christian? And like I said, she pretends to prophecy with no fear of the Lord whatsoever. Okay, in 23 it says, because they have committed villainy in Israel and have committed adultery with their neighbors' wives and have spoken lying words in my name, which I have not commanded them, even I know and am a witness, saith the Lord. How about that? So there's your holy man, and what is he doing but breaking God's law? Does that sound like today? It does to me. 24, it says, thus shalt thou also speak to Shemaiah the Nahelaimite, saying, this is a new paragraph, in 25, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, saying, because thou hast sent letters in thy name unto all the people that are at Jerusalem, and to Zephaniah the son of Maaseiah the priest, and to all the priests, saying, 26, the Lord hath made thee priest in the stead of Jehoiada the priest, that ye should be officers in the house of the Lord. For every man that is mad, that's like crazy, and maketh himself a prophet, that thou shouldest put him in prison and in the stocks. So that's against God's prophets. And what are they saying? For people like Jeremiah, he's mad. He's crazy. Okay, in 27. Now therefore, why hast thou not reproved Jeremiah of Anathoth, which maketh himself a prophet to you? Question mark. How about this? How about this, see? So here you got the timing of all this. Jeremiah's still correcting and still giving them the word of the Lord. We've had the carrying away of a certain sect of the people there, of the king and the eunuchs, etc. And we've had the other king set up, you see. And here, they're sending letters to have Jeremiah basically killed. And Jeremiah didn't make himself a prophet. God made him a prophet. All right, in 28 it says, for therefore he sent unto us in Babylon, saying, this captivity is long. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. Okay, in 29, and Zephaniah the priest read this letter in the ears of Jeremiah the prophet. Okay, so there's a little piece of the history here. In 30 it says, Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah, saying, Send to all them of the captivity, saying, Thus saith the Lord, concerning Shemaiah the Nahelaimite, because that Shemaiah hath prophesied against.
Unto you.
All right, 31. Send to all them of the captivity, saying, Thus saith the Lord concerning Shemaiah the Nahelaimite, because that Shemaiah hath prophesied unto you, and I sent him not, and he caused you to turn and to trust in a lie. All right, now that's the same thing the false prophets do today. They had that one long-haired TBN prophet, called himself the prophet, and he danced around on the stage, and he was a secret society member who would get little tips from inside the cult and come out and act like he's prophesying. Like he had the great prophecy that there was going to be 2 presidents next term and all this. He's gone now. But he called himself the prophet. He's fake. Obviously fake. Anyway, people, that's dangerous water. If you're doing that out there and you're some preacher or priest or some lady pretending to be a prophetess, you're in danger. You're in big danger. Okay, and then on top of that, you got hellfire coming for that. 32, it says, Therefore thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will punish Shemaiah the Nahelaimite, and his seed. He shall not have a man to dwell among his people, neither shall he behold the good that I will do for my people, saith the Lord, because he hath taught rebellion against the Lord. And that's what these phony prophets do today. TV ministry is full of them. But there's all kinds of things that aren't on TV. Okay? They're not. I mean, you got every Christian sect, including this Asbury revival, which is just ridiculous, all tied into the movie coming out with the Jesus Revolution. And the people that are running it are the theologians that are behind the attack on the King James. I mean an attack. It went from, in the 70s, no one would dare say those Bible versions were okay. Because people still had a compass left. I mean, people would have just rebelled against that because everybody knew better. And it wasn't no 270 years like someone read the other day. 400 years. We just had the 400-year anniversary, you know, some years back here. Okay? And to this day, it holds up word for word. When you see these people start to attack the King James, and you know the real King James, and you know the history of it, they expose themselves as deceivers and liars. And that's the theologians. That's the people that are still practicing their debauchery and preaching at the same time. Our fake hero, Greg Laurie, and all his lies and attack on the Bible. Don't believe the Bible. See, that's one of the themes of theology. Don't believe the written word that's been here for thousands of years. Here we are, modern theologians, We are the great holy men. Believe us. We have the science behind us. Andy Stanley says, get rid of the Old Testament. Well, that's the same thing Martin Luther said. All of them are cult. They are occult, and they are in their secret society cults. That's what we're up against. And some of the fruit of that is sending these fake prophecy people in here. And when they prophesy, like Paula White, and Trump doesn't overturn the election, then people think that that witch is real Christian, like Kenneth Copeland, who is nothing more than a witch. And they send them in there and they do all their fake healings, and anybody with any decency and common sense sees that it's fake and that prophecy's fake. And people can't discern that between that and real Christianity. That's a lot of damage, folks. God's going to repay you 70 million fold for that.